The topic that we are going to discuss now is Climate Change Performance Index 2024. Let us get into the details of this particular index. India secured 7th position in the recently released Climate Change Performance Index 2024. Okay, and then what is this index? It is published annually since 2005 and it is an independent monitoring tool for tracking countries' climate protection performance. Okay, and it is published by German Watch, that is an organization, and then there are two other organizations which are working together to publish this Climate Change Performance Index. What are they? One is the New Climate Institute and the other is Climate Action Network International. Okay, so it indicates a climate mitigation efforts of 63 countries. So this index indicates a climate mitigation efforts of 63 countries and EU, that is European Union, which collectively account for 90% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. So these 63 countries and European Union accounts for 90% of the global greenhouse gas emissions, and they are going to be ranked here. Okay. Now this performance index, that is climate change performance index, has certain metrics using which they are assessed. Okay, so the CCPI evaluates countries across 4 key categories. What are the categories here? One is greenhouse gas emission, which has been given 40% weightage. Next is renewable energy, which is given 20% weightage, and energy use and climate policy are other 2 categories which is given 20% weightage each. Okay, so here this CCPI 24, what are all the outcomes of this particular index for this year? So no country performed well enough in all index categories to achieve an overall very high rating. So none of the countries has achieved that very high rating. Thus the first 3 overall positions therefore remain empty. So first 3 positions are empty. So the 4th, 5th and 6th positions are occupied by countries like Denmark, Estonia and Philippines. So Denmark 4th, Estonia 5th and Philippines 6th position. And then India comes in the 7th position. So very high, you cannot find very high anywhere, but then high positions are occupied by countries over here. India also is in the high position and here Philippines. Okay, and then there are other countries who are performing in medium, low, very low and other categories. Okay, next is India's ranking in CCPI 24. Let us understand that we already saw that India has secured 7th position in this Climate Change Performance Index for the year 2024, thus exhibiting a stride forward from the 8th spot in CCPI 23. So there has been an increase in the performance. Okay, earlier we were in the 8th position, now we have got the 7th position. Okay, interestingly, due to absence of countries in the first 3 spots, India effectively stands 4th in the global climate performance. Obviously, right, when first 3 positions are not occupied by any of the countries, we saw the 4th position was for Denmark, 5th for Estonia and the 6th for Philippines, and then comes India. Okay, so effectively India is in the 4th position. And India's score and ranking in the key categories, this is also important. We saw that there are 4 categories under this CCPI, and what is India's ranking under all these categories, that we have to understand. First, let us understand the first 2 categories, that is greenhouse gas emission and energy use. Okay, so in this, India ranked 9th position in greenhouse gas emission and 10th position in energy use among the assessed countries, and this is largely attributed to India's low per capita energy use. Okay, that is why we are performing well here. And also in the per capita greenhouse category, okay, greenhouse gas category, the country is on the track to meet the benchmark of well below 2 degrees Celsius, that is the Paris Agreement's benchmark. Next, under other 2 categories, that is climate policy and renewable energy, India is performing moderately. It is not performing in high categories. Okay, That is because India secured the 10th spot in climate policy, showcasing moderate progress compared to its performance in the previous assessment. Okay, and then when it comes to renewable energy, India's performance showed a more moderate rank, standing at 37th, barely remaining within the high performance category. So it is not even in the high performance category here. And then this position marks a decline from the 24th spot in the previous year's assessment. Okay, and then the report also emphasizes India's reliance on coal, oil and gas to meet its energy levels. Despite efforts to promote renewable energy, India is taking efforts to promote its renewable energy, but then we are dependent on, or we are we are heavily focused, heavily dependent on coal, oil and gas for meeting our energy needs. Okay, and this reliance contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions and severe air pollution in the cities. So that is why our performance is moderate here in the renewable energy category. Okay, and this is because of the climate policy that we have, and that is the reason why even here the progress is moderate. Now we have to comparatively analyze India's position with other countries. Okay, so what is the global trend here? The CCPI report highlight a concerning trend. What was the concerning trend here? Despite urgency to decarbonize, global greenhouse gas emissions have increased in 2022, with atmospheric carbon dioxide levels soaring 50% higher than the pre-industrial levels. Okay, and then the G20 performance. This is also important among G20 countries, where India lies and where other countries lie. Okay, so G20 performance with India in the 7th position and Germany in 14th position and European Union in 16th position. Only 3 G20 countries or regions are among the high performance countries in 2024 index. Okay, and then the G20 members account for more than 75% of the world's greenhouse gas emission. This is also important. Okay, so there are certain developed countries like United States, United Kingdom and Italy. They have showcased poor performance when compared to other countries. Okay, in this COP 2024, and this is in comparison with the CCPI 2023. Okay, reflecting a lack of substantial progress in countering climate change. Okay, so this is what we need to understand with respect